Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together with love. There is only one God, there is only one King, there is only one body. That is why we can sing. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together with love. Good morning. It's Monday morning, June the 8th. Hope you're having a great day so far, and I've had a great weekend. Sure got to see some more faces yesterday, and that was wonderful. And as we continue to work through this process of getting back together, just continue to pray for safety for each and every one of us. I was thinking about something this morning. You know, if you and I are burdened with somebody who isn't serving God the way that he used to, or the way that we know and he or she knows that they should, or we're burdened with somebody who simply just doesn't know God very well, or doesn't know God at all. Perhaps it's some time perhaps it's time that we do something about that. Sometimes we are burdened with those things and we worry about them, but worrying about it won't really change anything. It's when we change that worry, that concern, that burden into an action, that it can make a big difference in the outcome of that person's life. And so I was thinking about that this morning, and that's why Jude in verse 22, says, "Be merciful to those who doubt." In the King James version, it says, "and of some have compassion, making a difference." That word compassion, that's what we're talking about here. It's a Greek word that Jude uses. The Greek word is eleao, which in this case refers to a deep-seated and unsettling emotion that a person feels when he has seen or heard something that is terribly sad or upsetting. These are the kind of emotions that well up inside of us whenever we see the pictures of starving children on TV, on the commercials that they put up there, that are malnourished or starving. They're the kind of emotions that we see when we see somebody struggling with illness or dying of a terminal disease. We feel those same kinds of emotions. Or when we see a destitute person or a destitute family who doesn't have any food or any money which to live on. All the same kinds of emotions that well up inside of us. And the reason that Jude uses that word is very plain. He's doing the same thing that the television programs do when they put those pictures up there. They're showing us these worst case scenario pictures in order to stir in us action, emotions that result in action. They're designed to stir up these emotional feelings of pity, if you will. You see, the producers of these programs, they realize that simply stating a need verbally wouldn't ever get them the attention. It wouldn't get our attention, and wouldn't get them the results that they're looking for and the help that they're looking for. We're just too mentally busy today in our society to kind of process those like we should, and so they make it more graphic with the pictures and the music and things that go with that to stir up those emotions in us, because the old saying goes, pictures speak 1,000 words. And so it arouses those feelings of pity within us. But pity is not the ultimate goal. You understand? It's the pity. By stirring the pity, they're trying to stir. You're trying to get us to pick up the phone, call the number, make a donation, so that they can feed those children. And by itself, pity. All pity would do is feel sorry for the situation. So the goal is not pity. The goal is the action that results from stirring up those feelings and emotions of pity and compassion, because compassion cannot sit by and idly watch a scenario grow worse. Compassion reaches out to act immediately, to do something about the situation. And so it's unmistakably clear that Jude is wanting to elicit an emotional response from his readers. He wants them to graphically see and to understand the seriousness of believers who have backslidden into a life of sin, the seriousness of those who don't know God very well or don't know God at all. He's wanting to elicit that emotion. And he wants us, the readers, to feel to feel for these critically ill spiritual patients, and to feel enough to go do something about it. In fact, he wants them, us, the readers, to feel their condition so intensely that he says, "And of some have compassion." In other words, he's telling us to take your pity and to turn it into action. Take your compassion for that person that doesn't know, or they know but they've backslidden into a life that they're having a hard time getting out of, and do something about it. Step into their life in some way. Pray for them first. Step into their life some way and walk with them, and try to walk with them out of that life into the life that God has in store for them. Because when genuine compassion begins to flow from our hearts, we can't sit idly by and just simply feel sorry for a person's situation. We have to get involved in their situation. We have to get involved in their life. Real compassion says, I have to get up and I have to do something about this. And so if you have been feeling a burden for somebody because you can see that they're not living the life that God wants them to live, in whatever version that looks like, I want to encourage you, and Jude wants to encourage you, God wants to encourage you through Jude, he's writing, to do something about it. Get involved in that person's life. Yeah, sometimes it can get messy. That's okay. Just get involved in their life. Encourage them. Pray for them. Love on them. And show them a better way. Show them the way that God has planned for each of them. God doesn't give up on anybody. We shouldn't give up on anybody either. Hope this gives you some encouragement today. Hope this maybe spurs you a little bit to consider some actions that you can take to get involved in somebody's life and help them to get back to what God really truly has in store for them. Love you guys so much. Hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.